Hi everyone. As we're nearing the end of the first week, I just wanted to take a minute to introduce myself a little more in person. I know an 8-week course can be a lot, and I just wanted to check in with everybody and to kind of remind you of a couple of things. One is that the main thing that I care about in this class is you being engaged. That the class really depends on you participating with your peers, being engaged in peer review, staying up on all the work. And I know it's a lot of work. It's a condensed 16-week course, so you're doing twice the amount of work each week, and that can be tricky in a composition class. But I do want to remind everybody or let you know that anytime people have taken this class, and a lot of people have taken it, and everyone who has stayed up on their work, who has participated in peer review, and has been engaged in the drafting and revision process has done well in the course. People start to have problems when they get behind. That's really the issue. It's not a hard class, it's just a lot of work to keep up with. But if you get everything done, you engage with your peers, you revise your work, you'll do fine in the class. No one has ever failed the class who has done all of that. People fail when they don't turn things in. So I do really want to emphasize how important completion and engagement is. That said, I do know it's a lot of work, and I know it can be confusing, especially with Blackboard. There's a lot of deadlines. I do put information in a lot of different areas, and that really works for some people, and it confuses the hell out of other people. And so what I'm trying to do is make sure you have enough information to complete things successfully. But if you're confused about anything, if you're not sure what's going on, it's definitely just better to ask. My written voice, so the way I write, my assignment sheets are a lot more formal than I am in person. I think in general people have a pretty easy time talking to me, but I think sometimes online that can be intimidating. So that's another reason I wanted to make the video, just to kind of put my face and my voice out there and remind people that I'm just a person. And so if you have questions, it's definitely better to ask. Occasionally, I might sound more short or abrupt than I intend to. I'm just answering a lot of emails, so I try to be polite. I expect that you're trying to be polite, but just keep that in mind that I have 7 classes and things can get a little confusing. One other thing I really wanted to draw your attention to is some issues I'm having with Blackboard. So on my end, everything in Blackboard works. I've checked it all, everything transferred. When I go into Student View, it works. But it seems like for whatever reason, some of the links are not working on your end sometimes. So if you encounter that, please let me know as soon as possible so I can correct things, because from where I'm sitting, it works. And so I can't really tell what's not working and what is, which is just one of the joys of Blackboard. So please forgive that. I'm doing my best with it. I've talked to Blackboard support. I'm not getting a lot of clarity on what to do. So just keep that in mind if you're starting to encounter difficulties, and it's really a good reason not to leave things to the last minute. As your Anne Lamott essay is due tonight, I'll be putting people into peer review groups, so please look for those. One thing I want to say about peer review is a lot of times a comment I hear about peer review is, how can you be expected to fix someone else's writing when you aren't sure how to write correctly? And one thing I want to emphasize about peer review is that I don't expect you to fix other people's writing. What I expect is for you to respond to your peers, to listen to them, to engage their ideas, and to try to help them achieve better communication. So if you don't know what to say, you can always ask a question. You can always talk in some detail about what you liked. You can also even talk about your own work and be like, oh, this reminded me of when I did this, but I like how you said this because I hadn't thought of it in that way. The point is to have a conversation, to realize that you're in a class with a lot of different people, some who may be like you, some who may not. And this is an occasion where you can actually, for a few moments, be around people and listen to people who might not be exactly like yourself. And there aren't a lot of times in life where that happens, but college is one of them. And so I do think these opportunities to engage with each other are some of the most important things from the class. So just keep that in mind, that I'm looking for conversation and engagement, not you fixing things. If you can mention things they've done incorrectly, like grammar, spelling, that's great. Fine, point that out once or twice. Don't spend the whole paper focusing on that. Don't rip each other's papers apart. Say, hey, you might want to look at how you use commas, like here and here. There's some spelling errors. Make sure to check, use spell check. But also, I liked your idea about Anne Lamott, and I liked how you talked about your own drafting process because of X, Y, and Z. The ideas are more important than the details. The details matter, but they don't matter as much, and they matter in so much as they help us communicate our ideas. Excuse me. So, with that, mostly I just wanted to say hello. I'm going to try to respond to some of your blogs. I've enjoyed reading them. If you have questions, definitely let me know. And please don't panic about the class. Just stay up with each deadline. Make sure you're checking the week's review. A lot of students have found that if they print off that the overview of the week, it can really help them stay up on what's due each day. Make sure you're checking Blackboard regularly so you can make sure that what I think you've done is what you think you've done. And make sure you're checking your TCC email on a regular basis. Okay? All right. I hope everyone has a good weekend and that your first week went well. And do be in touch with any questions. All right. Bye.